Океј, идеме со четвртата епизода од Метал машина. Овој пат големи звезди у Метал машина, а моментално го имаме Марко Мендоза од The Daisies и од еден куп други бендови. Мене ме бил идол, мислам, басиста типот од Whitesnake го знам, од Thin Lizzy и еден куп други бендови. Сега ќе го представиме, ќе го прашаме Марко. Welcome to Skopje.
Thank you, man. Good to be here.
You like it here or just a few hours?
We just arrived. Unfortunately, we haven't had a chance to get to know the city, but so far, meeting you all, good people, man. The vibe is great. I love it. Thank you, man.
Thank you. You're a
Fala.
Great.
I learned that.
Yeah. Thank you for the positivity. You're a positive person. I know because I've seen you in Bulgaria in 2003, I think, with Whitesnake or 4.
Yeah.
Tell me, how did you start playing in bands and in the business in the 80s, I think?
No, even further back, but I keep it like that. Well, it's a long story. I ended up, I was born in the U.S. in San Diego, California, and my family lived in Tijuana, south of the border of Mexico. So I grew up down there. My grandma, when my parents separated, my grandmother came with a piano. She was a piano teacher. And so she kind of took over the house. And that's where I developed my taste and my appreciation for music. My father was a clarinet player, not professional. And my brother was a drummer, like you, you know?
Yeah.
And so we had a lot of music around us, you know. So I couldn't help it but to enjoy it and appreciate it.
But that's back in the 70s?
Yeah. My brother got a guitar for his birthday.
So you started?
And he played it around a little bit. It wasn't for him. He was a drummer. He ended up being a drummer. And so I would grab the guitar. What was cool about the guitar is I could grab it and go hide somewhere and learn the chords because there was a book, the Mailbag.
Yeah.
And so I wouldn't feel embarrassed. I didn't play for anybody until I learned a few chords and I learned a few songs. Then I realized that it was really a lot of fun for me. So that's when it started. And then I got a little band together with my brother.
What's your first band, the rock band in the 80s?
That I played in?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Your first record is like 89, or no?
I'm sorry?
Your first record?
I choose to call my rebirth of sorts because I got sober in '87. So up to that point, I did a lot of bands that weren't consequential. You know, we were traveling and we were doing mostly.
So they were local bands.
A lot of local bands, and then we did some national bands in Mexico, and that's where I got my training.
So is the huge one for you the Blue Murder band?
Blue Murder was big, yeah, absolutely.
With Sykes?
With Sykes. I actually did a few records.
That was the breakthrough?
You know, they were all breakthroughs, you know, for me. Where I was just lucky to start playing again because I didn't play music for a year when I got sober, you know. No, Bill Ward.
Oh, Ward 1.
Very good.
I have the CD.
Very, very good. So Bill Ward, who I met in recovery, he was getting sober.
Okay.
Him and Ozzy were getting sober. And so he asked me, because he wanted to surround himself with cats that were doing on the same path, getting sober.
Yeah.
So he asked me if I'd like to play on this album. It was his first album. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. Yeah. So I went and bought a bass because I didn't even have a bass. And I showed up at the studio. And to my surprise, you know, Jack Bruce was on it.
Yeah.
Tim Bogart, Ginger Baker, Aussie sang on. You know, we shot a couple of videos. So that was like the turning point for me again to get back into the music.
It was like 90, 91?
That was 89. I want to say 89, 88, 89.
That was before Blue Murder?
That was way before Blue Murder.
Yeah.
So that's when I got relit again and got it back into the music scene. And I moved to LA specifically to be part of the scene, you know. I moved there to stay there.
Yes.
And I ended up working with people.
Because the LA scene is like the huge...
It still is.
It still is, yeah.
And so I ended up working with people like Edgar Winter. I mean, a wide range. I started doing a lot of sessions.
From pop, rock and...
Yeah, Chaka Khan, Al Jarreau, Edgar Winter, to name a few, and many, many others. So by then, I had a trio that was playing some fusion, and John Sykes showed up one time, heard about me.
Yeah.
Apparently Tony Franklin, Carmine, and him had separated, so he needed a fretless bass player.
For the Blue Murder or for Thin Lizzy?
For Blue Murder.
Yeah, okay.
And for the second album, Nothing But Trouble, Geffen. And so he came in and introduced himself. I took a break, and a week later, I was in the studio recording Nothing But Trouble.
Awesome.
And we ended up doing, I got to say, it was a highlight of my career, definitely.
Yeah.
We ended up doing 6 or 7 albums to this day with John. And so,
But
he was
Thin Lizzy too. You continue to work in Thin Lizzy with him.
yeah, this is a story. So I was touring with John with Blue Murder, and we would do some Thin Lizzy songs that he co-wrote with Phil, and he would play with Thin Lizzy. And so we were in Japan, and Udo, the promoter in Japan, approached John at the end of the tour, and we were all having dinner. He said, "Have you been in touch with Scott Gorham, with Brian Downey, with Darren Wharton from Lizzy?" And, you know, yeah, occasionally we called each other. And so he says, "Why don't you give him a call? Maybe we could put something together." And so we left, and about a month later, I got a call from John's side saying, "You know, we're going to put a little tribute tour together for Phil. And we would love for you to, you know, the guys want to check you out. I would love for you to come and play."
Great.
So, third encore.
You have to play what Phil played.
Yes,
Not to sing, but
94. This is 94.
Yeah,
After I've been working with John for a few years. And so I got my hands on everything you can imagine, Thin Lizzy. Everything, documentaries, VHS. In those days it was
the
tape.
double live from the 70s.
All of it, Live and Dangerous, all of it, man. I got
Live and Dangerous. Yeah.
Yes, Live and Dangerous.
That's the
and-
best.
Yeah, Thunder and Lightning and so on and so forth. You know, Johnny the Fox, Black Rose, la la la.
Great.
And to my surprise, it was like, wow, this is some great stuff. Because in California, you know, we knew about Thin Lizzy and we knew it was a great band, but we heard a few tracks.
Yeah.
You know, The Boys Are
He was
Bad.
never huge, yeah? There.
They never broke like they should have.
Yeah.
Let's just say that.
Yeah.
Great band, great music, great guys, the whole thing. And all you heard was Jailbreak, The Boys Are Back in Town. Occasionally you would hear I'm Still in Love with You, or you know, Whiskey in the Jar.
Or something.
Whiskey in the Jar.
Whiskey in the Jar, yeah. That became huge hit when Metallica did it.
Exactly. So long story short, I got my hands on all that and I played for the guys. And then at the end of playing, you know, I learned like 25 songs, memorized them. And they were throwing some dark ones and obscure songs, and I did my homework. And I must have done a good job because after,
Great playing with Thin fucking Lizzy.
you know. And so at the end, Scott Gorham says, "Well, we're going to Japan. We got some concerts out there. We got a tour. You want to come?" I said, "Let me think about it. I'll have my manager call your manager." No, I said, absolutely. So that was my experience with Thin Lizzy. And then from then, we started getting invited all over the place. The promoters got a hold of it, and we went all over the planet. You know.
So let's get back to why you are here. The daisies.
Yes.
You're from the beginning? No. You came in the band. When?
I was touring in Australia with Thin Lizzy, the last tour that we did
And they saw you?
in 13. And they saw me, and they approached me with you know, we're doing some music. We'd love for you to be part of it. I said, yeah, send it along. So I got home, they sent the music, and it spoke to me. I love the direction of the music right away.
You know what? This band, I feel this band is like surviving the rock, the real
70s,
rock and roll.
The 70s
the real
and
rock
the
and
80s.
roll.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And,
The essence of rock and roll.
yeah, and so I got invited to do that, and then they said, you know, we have a possibility to open it for Aerosmith. And when I heard that, I'm going, "Are you got? Whoa, okay, well, who's in the band?" And they said, "Well, we've been talking to Richard Fortis, who we played together. I love. He's one of the greatest guitar players around."
Yeah.
And
He's in Guns N' Roses.
he's in Guns N' Roses. He's in Dead Daisies right now. And so I called him and I said, "Yeah, I'm doing this. And who's in the band?" He told me, and I was like, this sounds like something I really want to be part of. So I changed some things around. I had some recording sessions.
Yeah.
And we were in Australia opening up for Aerosmith. So I was like, wow, that was our first tour. After that, the vibe was so good and the music was so happening, the shows on stage were great, that we started talking about taking it to the next level. And so that's pretty much the beginning.
Without an album.
For me, yeah.
You recorded the album
Yeah.
last year.
We did The Face I Love. It was an EP.
Yeah, I remember that.
Great track, man. And long story short, so that's what it is. And now, this year, we've gone to Cuba. We've toured with...
Yeah, you were like the first American band that went to Cuba, right?
Yes, absolutely.
The first rock
No,
American.
there was a few bands that had been there, but they went through off the radar, if you know what I mean.
Okay.
So we went through, after the sanctions were lifted,
And it was recorded in a documentary, I saw it.
through the embassies, through the proper channels,
Yeah.
and so we got a lot of press. because of
Audience
it.
and everything.
Yeah, we didn't realize that it was going to be a bit of a historical thing, and the
And
audience,
it became.
it was wow.
Yeah.
So the audiences in Cuba were amazing. We did 2 shows, and this is when we called John, John Calabi.
Yeah,
John Calabi
yeah,
came
yeah.
down and hit it out of the park. He was exactly what we were looking for. He's a great
Great
singer,
great vocal.
vocalist, great singer, great front man. He's a musician. He writes some beautiful stuff. So he came on board, and we were in the studio a month later in Sydney, and we came out with Revolucion, and there you go. The rest is history. So we've been really busy, man, touring all over the place this year. And we're here now in Skopje, Macedonia. We're going to have a great show.
Your first time in Macedonia, right?
For me, yeah. And I think
Yeah.
for most of the guys,
I
yeah.
think everyone, yeah.
I've been very close, but not here.
You've
but
been in Greece maybe, or Serbia.
in Serbia.
You've been with Thin Lizzy in Serbia, I think.
Serbia, and Greece, Serbia, and
You know
we
what?
did Sofia, though,
You know what?
with Whitesnake.
We have one guy that we know, both of us, personally.
That we have in common.
Yeah. Danny Stanton. He was your
Danny.
manager in Thin Lizzy.
Very good,
Yeah,
yeah.
tour manager.
Yeah, great guy.
I met him like 5 or 6 times. We're friends.
Yeah, he's working with Twisted.
With Twisted, yeah.
Yeah, very cool.
I met
Great.
him.
A good friend. Hey, Danny.
So I want to ask you, you played with Whitesnake.
Mhm.
You've been in the band. How is it touring with them, but in the other band? You're playing with them together now, and
Working with David Coverdale was definitely a highlight of my career.
Yeah.
And playing those beautiful classic rock and roll tracks.
you recorded an album together.
And being part of the team. No, well, there's a few live things that went out.
Yeah.
And
The
then,
Still of the
no,
Night.
I did actually, let's go back. My first experience working with David Coverdale was Into the Light.
Okay.
I don't know if anybody has it.
Yeah. David Coverdale's solo album. I have
It's
it.
a beautiful album.
I was born by the river.
Yes. Very good, man. And I found some newfound respect for David because he's so meticulous and he's such an artist.
It was a solo album.
Yes,
by the way.
it was a solo album.
Yeah.
And Danny Carmassi on drums, Earl Slick, Doug Bossy, and myself, and we had a great time, man. But so after that, they went on tour, Whitesnake, and my father got sick. I couldn't go. So he said, "You're my guy. Next time we go out, let's go out." I said, "Great."
Yeah.
So great experience, man. Whitesnake definitely some great years of music and learning and getting inspired by David Coverdale.
It was Doug Aldrich back in the guitar, right?
It was Doug Aldrich, Red Beach, Tommy Aldridge,
Yeah.
Timothy Drury, and myself. And we
Yeah,
had a
yeah.
blast, man. We tore it up. We had a great time.
So how does it feel to tour again with them, but in a different band together? You met each other. You kept,
We hanging out. Absolutely.
hang
We
out?
see each other every day.
You hang
Every time
out?
we play. Yeah. For me, I'm reminiscing a lot of the great times that I had with Whitesnake, and with David, with Mr. Coverdale, and with DC. And it can only inspire me to continue what we're doing. It's all about music at the end of the day. It doesn't matter for me. You're in this band and you're in that band. The ultimate goal is the music. It's the music creating something.
Yes.
It's being productive. It's going anywhere. It's touching people. And with this band, the Dead Daisies, we're definitely doing that.
I think you're bringing it back. I feel it. I know the rock and roll, and I think you're heading that way. To bring it back, the real one.
Yeah, how can you go bad? How can you go wrong with a lineup like Richard Fortus on guitar, Dizzy Reed on keyboards,
Yeah. John Corabi.
Brian Tichy on drums,
Yeah.
David Lowy on the guitar, and John Corabi up front. You can't go wrong. There's so much in the well,
Everything.
a lot of water.
You have
So
everything.
I remember when we were in the studio, we would make a lot of reference to the 70s, the bands that we loved.
Alex Carvin.
Yeah, Alex
Curtain
Harvey, the
Midnight.
Deep Purples, the
Midnight
Zeppelins, so on and so forth.
You did the cover of Evil.
Yeah.
That's a great song.
Cactus that did it first, but we got inspired. So,
I-
we're
I
trying
knew-
to fly that flag, the
I knew
70s.
I knew it from Widowmaker, this Snyder band, the Widowmaker.
Yeah. I know,
They did that cover, and I heard it from you, and I said, why would they did
Another cover.
This another cover, and then take off.
You go back.
Yeah.
It goes way back.
Yeah. It's 70s.
Calling Wolf, yeah. So it's a blues song, that's been around forever.
Yeah.
It just spoke to us the first time we played it, and we were going, we gotta play it.
It's great.
Listen, it doesn't matter where the music comes. Again, we're vehicles, man. We're throwing it at people. If the audience digs it, we're gonna do it, and that's the bottom line.
How was with you were before Whitesnake? You were on the Kiss cruise and with Kiss on tour, right?
Yeah. Last year,
how was with the Kiss guys?
we've been hanging out with Kiss a lot. We did Kiss in the U.S. last year with Def Leppard, and then we did the Kiss cruise last year. We came back and worked with Kiss in Europe this summer.
They're good guys.
They're great guys. Paul and Gene and Eric and Tommy. They're great guys. Great bunch of guys. It doesn't get any better. Rock band's the ultimate rock and roll band of all time for me.
Kiss.
It's Kiss, man. They're ultimate pros. They put on some great music. Every time you go see a show, a Kiss show, it'll blow your mind. No doubt.
I heard a story in the 70s that Black Sabbath was the headliner and Kiss were opening, and backstage Kiss were like with the demon masks and everything, and like Black Sabbath dropped some LSD or something, and like they were scared from this mask and everything.
See, boys and girls, that's what happens when you take drugs.
No, but
Don't do it.
You know what? It takes a lot to scare Black Sabbath.
No, I understand. Well, they had that vision way back, and that's why I give them a lot of credit. Every time they walk around, and we talk to Paul, we talk to Gina, I go, thank you, man, for paving the way for us to continue,
Yeah.
But you know what Kiss has, man? The bottom line, it's about the fans. Everything they do is geared to please the fans. They put on the best shows on the planet. They put on the best freaking albums. The Kiss Cruise is amazing how people just love them, And so to be part of that family and open up for them, it's great for us. So we had some good
Positive.
and thank you to Doc McGee as well.
So I just wanted to ask you the last question I mentioned before. You have same names as Marco Mendoza of Twisted. Have you ever met?
Absolutely, and we joke around because when I started working and getting on, back in the late '80s, I used to get a lot of people that bring me Twisted Sister albums, thinking it was me. To sign. And at the beginning, I would explain, no, there's a Mark Mendoza, Mark the Animal Mendoza, and I'm just Marco Mendoza.
By the way, he's a great bass player.
He's a great bass player. He's a great guy. The whole band, Dee Snider, another band that's just, they're kicking butt. They're surpassing themselves. They're always bettering themselves. They're always improving on what they're doing. So I don't know if there's such a word as bettering, but I did. They're always improving and working on, putting the best show ever, putting out the best music. You got to give all those fans, I could take my hat off. So, so now we joke around. We see each other, and apparently he gets a few people that bring him stuff of mine to sign.
Yeah.
And it's gotten so out of control sometimes that you just do it because you don't have time to explain.
So you can put Twisted Sister in your CV. You played there.
So
by the way,
his name is Mark Mendoza, right?
It's not his real name,
No, it's a stage name.
It's Mark Glickman.
Yes. My name is Marco Antonio Mendoza Correa de la Peña Martínez Garcia Núñez Jr.
You're like the Kembe Mutombo of the NBA, man.
But not really. It's just Marco Antonio Mendoza Correa, because in Mexico we use a paternal last name.
Thank you for this one, for guesting in our show.
My pleasure,
Great.
man.
It was awesome, man.
Good afternoon. Anytime, brother. Anytime.
Thank you.
Fala.
You're great. I'm a huge fan.
Thank you, brother. We'll see you out there. TheDeadDaisies.com. Come out. See you soon.
So you have to tell me about the end of the show. We put 3 songs, influential, 3 videos, from some band that you love, bands or something.
Oh my God.
Well, but you must have a video.
Yeah. The first video that blew me up. I'm a big Beatles fan. The first album I ever got was Abbey Road, right? So, and we were in Mexico, so we would get everything later. Maybe like some of you guys in this area. So the first video and movie that I saw from the Beatles was Let It Be. And it was amazing, that whole thing that happened.
So the video from Let It Be?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then, being a Beatles fan, Imagine also. And mean, there's so many out there, you know. I've seen and been a fan for years and years. It's hard to pin down to 2 or 3.
Yeah.
But the Beatles definitely up there, you know.
Look, that's the first one.
Helter Skelter was a movie. The Rolling Stones. Woodstock, which had a lot of bands. Yeah. So for me, it was more like movies, documentaries, you know. What was going on.
Okay.
You know, Tommy. Who,
The Who.
Yeah, I mean, and so on and so forth. There's so many, so it's hard to pin them down. But those were the beginning of my interest in getting into the music heavier, you know.
So that you actually are telling some stuff that when you were born.
Yeah. Well, I saw it later, but
Yeah.
Woodstock, man, I would sit there and watch that movie.
Yeah,
It's insane what happened in Woodstock, you know. Helter Skelter, it's the story of the Stones.
That's the
you know.
first huge festival. There was nothing like that before.
Yeah, and but the Beatles have to be on top. Everything they did, I was just like moved and touched. You know, their music just created socially, man, such a big movement, and creatively that just created a big world. You know,
Yeah, a whole genre.
a whole genre. It just changed the world as we know it, and it changed the history of music as we know. So, Yellow Submarine. Come on and on. Sgt. Pepper, you know, so on and so forth. Magical Mystery Tour. Wow. These are movies, full-on movies before the little videos came.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
So that's what I was getting into. So
They were into art rock.
the full-on production, you know, and it was a documentary of sorts, a storyline that depicted some personal stuff. And it was very, very good. But when Imagine came out, that was how So there you go.
Thank you.
And if we had more time, I could tell you another hour of videos. But this time we'll leave it at that. Yeah.
Thank you, Marco.
My pleasure. Fala.
Thank you.
Until next time.